Hello, you guys.
Hi, friends.
Glad you're here. Guess what? We have a friend here today. Mrs. Loads is here. We've been sitting here chatting about she did a surprise for her friend. And she was telling me about it. And don't you just love it when you have surprises? It's so fun. Hey, Mrs. Loads, do you remember that story that you had about?
Oh, the big surprise?
Yes,
That story. Oh, I did.
yes.
I actually have it right here
It
with us.
makes me think about that. The
The
snowy
surprise. That's the name of it. The snowy surprise.
That's it. You should read that to our friends today.
Oh, I would love to read this to our friends today.
That would be very fun. We're having our hot cocoa.
Because it's kind of chilly outside.
Warmed up. It is chilly.
Yep.
The winter time is here. Oh.
It is winter time, and a nice snuggly drink of hot cocoa just warms us up inside. And visiting with a friend is also fun.
Oh, it's so fun. And I love to get surprises. And let's go ahead and sing our welcome song.
All right, let's do that.
Let's see.
Okay, I think they might be able to see it now, Miss Hanson. There we go.
I think so.
Okay.
There we go. So let's sing our welcome song. Ready? Go. Welcome, welcome everyone. Now you're here, we'll have some fun. First we'll clap our hands like so. Then we'll bend and touch our toes. Welcome, welcome everyone. Now you're here, we'll have some fun. Oh, and hey guys, Mrs. Loads and I have our masks on because we're kind of closer together, so we wanted to be safe. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to step out, and Mrs. Loads is going to read you the story so she can take her mask off and you can hear her words. All right, see you in a bit. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, boys and girls. So here we do. We have The Snowy Surprise. It was written by Amy Hest and illustrated by Anita German. Snowy Surprise. Get a little closer so you can see it. It happened one winter morning on Plum Street. And the moon was still up, making moonbeams and shadows on Plum Street. In the little white house, Mrs. Bear and Sam were baking cakes. They stirred with big spoons, swirling and tasting batter. Yum. They peeked in the oven at 2 rows of cakes, golden brown cakes, for their friends on Plum Street. There's Sam. He's waiting. Come on, cakes, whispered Sam. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Mrs. Bear and Sam waited for cakes. Now can we go, Mama? Now, said Sam. Soon, Mrs. Bear said. Soon, Sam. They waited, and then at last, Mrs. Bear sniffed the air with her nose, and in the air, she said, I believe our cakes are ready. Mrs. Bear and Sam counted cakes. There were 12. They tucked them in the bags, and they counted 12 bags. So there's Sam. He's putting the cakes in the bags, in the red bags. Outside, snow tumbled on houses and sprinkled on the trees. It powdered the yard and Mrs. Bear's truck. Mrs. Bear and Sam climbed up into the truck that was green. Their green truck that's going to take them. They bumped along in the early light with just the 2 of them on Plum Street. Uphill and down, up and down to the very end of Plum Street. "Our friends will love my cake," Sam told his mamma. "Of course," said Mrs. Bear. Mrs. Bear pulled up close to the first sleepy house. "Here we are, Sam. I'll wait for you here, and you take the cake." "All by myself?" whispered Sam. "Go, go, go," Mrs. Bear put her arm around Sam. "You can do it, Sam." And off he went, all by himself in the new snow, waving a red bag and waving to Mrs. Bear, all by himself, taking cake to their friends. So there goes Sam. He's going off all by himself. Sam left the red bag at the door. The sign on the bag said, "A tasty surprise." There he is. He's dropping it at the door. Then he ran back to the truck where his mama was waiting. "I did it," said Sam. "Of course," said Mrs. Bear. Mrs. Bear and Sam bumped along, just the two of them, uphill and down, up and down. At each sleepy house, Mrs. Bear stopped the truck. She put her arm around Sam. "Here you go," whispered Sam. "Here I go," whispered Sam. "Go, go, go," Mrs. Bear said. And off he went, making tracks in the new snow, waving a red bag and waving to Mrs. Bear, leaving one tasty cake at each sleepy door, all by himself. Until they got home, there were 2 cakes left in 2 red bags. Said Mrs. Bear. "For us?" whispered Sam. "Of course," said Mrs. Bear. Mrs. Bear and Sam held hands on the path to the little white house, and the sun was just sunning up the little white house. "Hello, house," said Sam, and they went inside, kicking off their snow boots. Mrs. Bear poured cocoa in cups, and they wiggled their toes in their fat socks, enjoying their cakes with cocoa. As their bellies filled up, they took turns telling stories about a bear called Sam, who takes cakes all by himself to his friend's house, and they all love his cakes so much. And that's what happened one winter morning on Plum Street. The end. So boys and girls, wasn't that a fun story about a sweet surprise that they worked together to make for their friends? And what confidence little bear Sam had as he walked up to the houses and put the little surprise for his friends on Plum Street. Mrs. Hanson, would you like to join us again?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
We've got a couple more things that we're going to do today.
Let's go ahead and do, I think what we should do is Peep the Cat.
Oh, that's one of my favorites, Mrs. Hanson.
Okay, Pete the Cat was walking along and singing his song. So we're going to dance and sing with Pete the Cat. And just give me 1 second so I can, oh, I don't see it, so let me see. Thank you for being so patient. I'm going to put my music on and find Pete the Cat. You guys are so patient.
So boys and girls, if you want to make sure you've got some room to do Pete the Cat with us, you would stand up and stretch your arms out because we got to dance a little bit while we do Pete the Cat.
Okay, and we're just going to keep sitting down. And so I can hold this. Oh, is it playing? I think we can hear it. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not.
Here we go.
Pete the Cat. I love Pete the Cat. He is so friendly and so thoughtful. He doesn't let anything bother him.
Not at all.
Pete the Cat was walking down the street in his brand new white shoes. Pete loved his white shoes so much, he sang this song.
I love my white shoes. 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 I love my white shoes.
Oh no! Pete stepped in a large pile of strawberries. What color did it turn his shoes?
Red!
Red!
Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no!
He kept walking along and singing his song.
I love my red shoes. 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 I love my red.
Oh.
Oh no! Pete stepped in a large pile of blueberries. What color did it turn his shoes?
Blue!
Yeah.
Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no!
He kept walking along and singing his song.
I love my blue shoes. 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 I love.
Oh no! Pete stepped in a large puddle of mud.
Oh no.
What color did it turn his shoes?
Blue!
Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no!
He kept walking along and singing his song.
Ready? Everybody's dancing.
I love my brown shoes. 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 I love my brown.
Oh no! Pete stepped in a bucket of water, and all the brown, and all the blue, and all the red were washed away. What color were his shoes again?
Why?
But now they were wet. Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no!
He kept walking along and singing his song.
Ready?
I love my wet shoes. 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 I love my wet shoes.
The moral of Pete's story is, no matter what you step in, keep walking along and singing your song, because it's all good.
Oh, I just love that song.
I do too. I'm so glad you chose to do that today, Mrs. Hanson.
It is so fun to learn that sometimes we can't always control what happens. But what we can control, keep walking along and singing your song. Because sometimes we start crying and we can't change it. Yeah. And that is, even sometimes adults do that. So we can always know that we can choose to keep walking along and singing our song. And maybe your friend might be crying, or she might be crying, or your mom or dad, or, you can always help them and say, hey, it's all good. Keep walking along and singing your song.
Oh,
That is an important message, isn't it?
is. for everyone to hear.
Oh, it is. And who remembers our letter of this week? Kaya Kangaroo? What letter is this? What sound does it make? I bet you made the sound of the letter K already.
That's right.
I bet you remembered. Kaya Kangaroo takes her legs and her hands and kicks. And then we have, who's this? Jellyfish. And he likes the sound of the letter J. And I heard Mrs. Loach, she made that sound. J, 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 J. Okay, I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna close my eyes and you guys and Mrs. Loach can tell me. I want to hear. I'm not looking. I'm
Okay,
closing
boys and
my
girls.
eyes.
What is that?
What is this?
Remember somebody who gets some honey?
What letter is that?
I think you're right. B. With the sound
B.
ba. Ba.
Okay, let's try that again. And this time I just want you to make the sound. You make the sound and I have to guess the letter.
Okay, boys and girls, are you going to help me out?
Okay, I'm closing my eyes. I want to hear the sound. Only
Okay,
the
come
sound.
Come on. Da, da, da.
D, deer. D,
Yes.
D.
Yes.
Whew, that was hard. Okay, one more time. What sound is it? And I'll guess the letter. I'm not gonna look.
Okay, don't look. Okay, boys and girls, are you ready?
What sound?
Ha, 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 ha.
Honey Horse says ha, and it's the letter H.
Yes, you got it right.
Yay! Oh, that's so fun to learn all the letters. I love it.
Yes, it's so fun.
Okay, I wanted to show you guys something that you could do. Mrs. Lotes and I, we have been talking about making, she brought these from home. And it smells so good. Oh, I love the smell. It's a pine tree. And in the wintertime, they even smell better. I don't know what about the wintertime, because the other leaves are gone from the trees, but the pine tree still has its needles in the wintertime. And the fun thing about a pine tree is they kind of feel different. Yeah, you want to feel it?
Pokey. A little bit pokey. Soft.
A little pokey. They smell. You can use all your senses with the pine tree. You can smell it. Oh, Mrs. Lotes is holding it up to her ear. She's seeing if she could hear anything.
And I can. If my fingers go over the needles, it makes a little bit of a sound. I can hear that.
What sound does it make, Mrs. Lotes?
It's just a little bit rustly, kind of. Little rustly sound.
Oh, so you can see it, smell it, hear it, we decided, and feel it.
Yeah, I don't know that I would want to eat it. So we probably don't want to use that sense.
No, we
Yeah.
want to keep, they're not for eating.
No.
But another thing that you could do with pine trees, limbs, is you could, I'm going to add a little red paint. If you have some paint, they have paint at the dollar store. Some places you can get paint, or you might want to paint with just, I don't know, mud or water. I've painted with mud before.
Yes.
You mix water and dirt and make some mud. So I'm going to take this and I have my piece of paper. Would you like to share the paper with me, Mrs. Lotes?
To. Yes.
I'm going to do the red.
And I'll do some of the blue that you put in here.
And we can paint.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful. Ooh, she made a swirly, and I made a straight line. Do you see how thick that is on the other end? I'm going to see if I can make a K. What are you going to make?
I'm just going to do more swirlies, I think.
Yeah.
It looks like little chicken feet on the paper.
Oh, fun. It does look like chicken feet. And then, oh, here's
There
my
we
K.
go.
And Mrs. Lotes made some chicken feet. You can make, friends, anything you want to. Painting with pine trees. That's pine tree leaves or branches. That's what they are.
Yes.
I couldn't get that word. So branches of a pine tree. Well, our time together was so fun, and I'm so glad we're approaching winter. Next week it's winter. And so we're going to take a little winter break, and we're going to come back. And guess what? When we come back,
What is it? Something's different.
the month of December, it's going to be gone. You see right up there, December will be gone. We went through all of the months of the year. We went through January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Guess what? After December's gone, it's a new year.
Oh my goodness.
So instead of being 2020, the year's going to be
2021.
yes.
We'll start all over again with January.
Yeah, so we will see you when we come back in January. We'll have more fun and more videos. And then someday, maybe in 2021, we might be able to be together.
Oh, I hope so, Mrs. Hanson.
Oh, yes.
I do.
Well, thank you for coming. And let's sing our song, I'm Very Glad You Came Today.
Oh, that's
And we'll go ahead and leave our masks on because then neither one of us have to leave. Okay? Ready? I'm very glad you came today. I'm very glad you came. I'm very glad you came today. I'm very glad you came. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. Glad you came. I'm glad you came. Very glad you came today. I'm very glad you came. And Charlie's waving. He's glad you came too. Love you guys, and you take care. And okay, try to stay warm in the winter. And if you see any animals out there, I would love to hear what animals you see.
all
Okay.
right. Bye, boys and girls.
Bye-bye. Thank you for coming.